Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ori, and today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Whole Woman by Ezekiel and Kiyanna Azonwu. Now, Ezekiel and Kiyanna are a famous Christian couple that are kind of known for giving relationship advice. They have a YouTube channel where they share different tips, and Ezekiel is a very famous poet, and this is actually his wife on the cover here. And this book is kind of a combination of therapy and Christian advice on dating and marriage, and I love how well they merge the two worlds together, because I think that it's important for women and men pursuing relationships to think about how our brokenness and our character flaws are playing a role in how we deal with relationships. So essentially that's what this book is about. This book is about identifying the brokenness that manifests itself in our friendships, our relationships, and especially our love relationships. So my honest opinion about this book is you should definitely read it with tough skin, because a lot of the things they discuss in here are really triggering, especially if you are in a very sensitive place in your life. Maybe you just got out of a relationship, or you're in a relationship and it's not working, or you've had a lot of previous relationships that didn't go well. This book is definitely going to address all of that, and we're going to get to the good parts, but the beginning of the book was tough to get through. I mean, it took me a while. So ironically enough, they actually give a little disclaimer in this book, and it says on page 55, oftentimes in detoxing processes, it's said that things may get worse before they get better. So we believe the same is true about your healing. You've spent years upon years burying the bitter effects of past trauma, or even taking self-defeating actions to mask them. And so they are aware that some of the things that they discuss in this book are going to bring about feelings of anger, sadness, or abandonment or betrayal, but they recommend you go through them because it's going to lead to healing in the future. So the book starts off talking about how we are all broken, and a lot of times our brokenness affects how we relate to people in family relationships, friendships, and in dating relationships. And so he starts off actually talking about how we are not ready for relationships, which was very offensive. However, they covered it up by talking about how even if we have a lot of work to do to develop ourselves and our character, it doesn't mean that we're not worthy of love. It just means that we may be showing symptoms of brokenness. They talked about a couple things that I would like to highlight. First, they talked about relationships and comparison. When we desire a relationship and we see that someone else has what we wish we could have, we ask ourselves, why can't I have that? What's wrong with me? And we start to compare. And so they say on page 15 that this desire to use others as a base of reference for what could be made available to us does more harm than good, as we not only tend to find greater cause for complaint than gratitude, but we also begin to assume that having anything less than that immediately reflects negatively on us as individuals. So essentially, if you do not have a picture-perfect relationship like so-and-so, then you feel like that reflects negatively on you. And I think that has a lot to do with the way dating is going right now. A lot of people are making permanent decisions, like long-term decisions, based on pleasing the people around them or trying to look like what everyone else approves of. And I think one thing that Ezekiel and his wife are really big on pushing is that looks and aesthetics, and picking a partner based on what looks cool in the moment is not gonna lead to a long-lasting marriage. They talk about how broken people love, and the 4 ways that broken people show their love is through being fearful lovers, insecure lovers, selfish lovers, or desperate lovers. And throughout the first half of the book, it shows different examples of each type of lover and how they show their love and why they show love that way. So some symptoms of a fearful lover is someone who is controlling, jealous, abusive, cold-hearted, or stubborn. An insecure lover typically has low self-esteem, is very compliant with mistreatment, is jealous, and very people-pleasing. A selfish lover is unfaithful, entitled, they lack commitment, discipline, moral values, and they love to play the victim. And a desperate lover is very people-pleasing, very self-sabotaging, and dishonest. So once you get through the first half of the book that discusses our brokenness and all the things that contribute to our brokenness, you get to chapter 4, which now discusses the power of internal healing. A few key things from the next half of the book. They talk about knowing that we are worth dying for and not living in guilt. So on page 87, they discuss how we should not feel guilty for any past mistakes we've made. We should not identify with our previous mistakes. And he says that we literally do not have the right to walk in guilt because we aren't holy enough nor authorized enough to condemn ourselves. And they quote Romans 8:1, which reminds us that therefore there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. So I think this is the good part. If you can survive chapters 1 to 3 and get to chapter 4, that's when we start talking about healing and how to really embrace your new identity in Christ and become a whole woman. Also, they share keys to a prosperous relationship. And I'm just going to read the bulletin points off because they are spot on. They said that you must view life as a collaboration and not a competition. You must try to view issues from the perspective of the other person. You must exemplify the qualities you want to attract. You must understand that no one is perfect, and you must know that great communication leads to a great relationship. And I really, really recommend this book, not just for Valentine's Day, but just as a good read for any woman who is single, dating, married, whatever. I think that it's a great book to really reflect on. Take your time, read through it, process, pray as you're reading, because some of this stuff could hit home. I love the transparency of Kiyanna talking about her relationship with her father, and Ezekiel talking about his insecurities and how that followed through into his marriage. And I think that these conversations are conversations that are very necessary right now in culture, not just pop culture, Christian culture, African culture. And so go get the book. I'm going to put the link below and let me know what you think once you're done reading. Let's talk about it. Thank you guys for watching this video. Please let me know what your thoughts are on this book. Make sure you like and share this video with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay original. Bye.